Hey guys, welcome to Coffee Combos from San Diego, California.
It has been a journey to get here.
What was wrong with your flight?
Well, first of all, the Atlanta airport has no excuses for like why they can't get it together, because I feel like it's the largest airport and
No, they're a shit show. Like,
Right?
I hate Atlanta airport.
It's the worst. And I get to the gate thinking like everything's like good on time. And I didn't get food because I thought, well, I'll be landing in San Diego like perfect dinner time, California time.
Right.
No, I get there and all of these people seem like they have figured something out that I haven't figured out. Evidently, we had a flight delay that I wasn't made aware of. And all these people were eating Chinese food and I was sitting there watching them. And
What?
do you know that feeling of like when somebody else is eating that it like annoys you if you're not also eating? Because I
No.
get that way. Like
No.
if somebody's like eating chips and it's like crunching and like making really like weird noises or like slurping like noodles and I'm not doing that too, then I get annoyed with those people. But if I'm also doing that, then I'm fine. So I was watching this man eat chicken wings and lo mein for like 35 minutes waiting on the flight. And then they got there because it was horrible weather.
Yeah, it's snowing back home right now. So,
Well, you said that it was snowing back home, but then you confirmed and said it was flurrying.
which is also snow.
Well, it's snow, but I understand that. But I'm saying like it's not like a snow apocalypse. Like it's not going to like
No, can't
cause
relate to that.
travel problems.
I made it to the Philadelphia airport with 26 minutes to spare.
That doesn't surprise me. I was actually surprised that you made your flight.
I checked in online and on my app.
Wait, this was on the way to Texas.
Yeah.
Because you left.
Because I went from Philly to Dallas, Dallas to San Diego, because I had to be there for a little while for my sister's mom passed away. So I went to that funeral and then I came to San Diego from that.
Wow. So
Yeah.
can we talk about what's going on in your life? Are we not?
Where do you want
Does
me to
that make
start
it
is
worse?
the real question.
Does that make it worse if we talk about it, or does it make it better? Because I feel like when I talk about my problems, it makes me feel more normal because I feel like people also relate to those problems, and then I don't feel alone.
I think I've talked about it so much that I feel fine about talking about it.
Okay.
It's fine.
Let's go.
Okay. So where do you want me to start exactly?
I think you should start at the beginning, which would be when you were born. I'm just kidding.
Well, Larry, he's my real dad. I don't know if you all knew, but we confirmed that on this trip.
Yes, I didn't know that.
I'm just kidding.
I knew some of the crew was your cousins.
Right, yeah. So they're cousins and uncles for sure. And no, so last week my grandmother passed away, and then my sister's mom died like 4 days before that. And we've talked about it on the podcast, and I've talked about it on Teen Mom. Like, I didn't get a chance to go meet the baby or anything, my sister's baby, since I haven't seen her actually probably since her baby shower in February. So I was like, well, I have to get down to Dallas. Like, if nothing else, I need to be there for her.
Right.
Because I met her mom a handful of times, but that was tough because I can't relate. I don't have a mom. I'm not close with my mom.
So
and
she's
I know,
close with her mom.
Yeah, they were like best
Okay.
friends. And her mom was the sweetest soul. Like, she was so sweet. So I went down. I saw her. I got to meet the baby. It just sucks that was like under those circumstances.
Yeah.
Right. So it was a little hard. But I did see like my first cousins and like my dad's side.
Right.
We didn't see my dad or anything, thank God. But
Gosh,
evidently,
I was going to say, like, was Dad there?
he was trying to go.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was like, no. Well, I didn't say that to him, but like other
Yeah.
people were like, you're not going. So that was that. And then left that funeral to go back to where I was staying. And Joe started fighting with me, saying all kinds of shit, just like blowing up my phone, asking if I even cared about my kids. I said, I'm leaving a funeral. Never asked me like who passed away or if I was okay or anything.
Why was that even a question if you cared about your kids? Like,
Because he said I had a
Is that
babysitter.
nuts? Yeah, normal people have babysitters and life happens.
So I was a little hurt, and I was actually a lot hurt. But we were supposed to celebrate Lincoln's birthday this past weekend because his birthday's on the 16th, but he'll be with his dad.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, we'll go to Kalahari and we'll do the indoor water park or whatever. That didn't happen because of the funeral. So that was canceled, but my friend still came up with her son. So she's like, I'll just keep them.
That's right. You had your friend Rachel there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she was coming with her son to celebrate for Lincoln's birthday. So everything just was like a mess.
Life happened.
Yeah. So it's been kind of crazy. And then I had court with Chris, which we've talked about before. And then my grandmother passed away. And it's just kind of been a really shitty, like, I would say October, November has been really shitty.
Your October, November was like my July, August.
Yeah.
September, October, November.
Right. But despite all of that, I do feel like I have good energy despite all the shit going on. So we're working through it.
You know how I said that if you get distant, like I know.
Yeah.
Like I can like feel it.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like I know you so well now. So like I know that if you like...
Everyone knows me except me.
Yeah, like I can tell when something's wrong.
Yeah. And you knew because I wasn't talking?
Yeah, because you just like shut down. Like you just
my
don't say anything.
therapist also told me to stay off social media as much as possible. Which I feel like I already knew. And I did it for a couple days. And then I went back on. And then I went back off. And so like you would be surprised how many people were like, Kail, are you okay?
Yeah, because you were posting every second.
Literally, my friend was like, you literally will post on the couch. Like, you'll be on the couch and you'll post. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, that's weird. But in my head, I was like, how did they know that anything was wrong? But it's because I'm on social media so much that I just need to, like, take it down a notch.
Meanwhile, I'm only on social media if I have on, like, knee-high boots and, like...
hair, makeup, and you're ready to go.
I'm like to the nines. And then Kail's literally posting from her couch with her dog, like where she just woke up and probably didn't brush her teeth yet. And I'm like, can I be Kail? Kind of.
So have you heard the news? The 2019 FabFitFun winter box is on sale now.
Yes, literally my favorite subscription box. FabFitFun is a woman's lifestyle subscription box that comes to your door each season, and each box has tons of amazing full-size premium beauty, lifestyle, fitness, home, and wellness products. I actually brought one of the makeup bags that I had gotten in like a previous box with me on this trip, and it's so cute.
So the winter box is the perfect way to treat yourself or your friends and family this holiday season. These boxes sell out fast, so sign up for yours today.
I'm so excited for this season too because they have partnered with some of my favorite brands, even Dry Bar, which I am obsessed with. Another one of my favorite things is you get to customize your box. So for example, you'll get to choose between an unhide faux fur blanket and a Rebecca Minkoff beanie set, which is super, super cute. I chose the beanies because it's been so cold in Atlanta and I love their beanies.
FabFitFun is a seasonal subscription box with full-size beauty, fitness, fashion, and lifestyle products. It retails for $49.99, but always has a value over $200.
Go to www.fabfitfun.com and use coupon code COMBO for $10 off your first box today.
Once again, use coupon code COMBO for $10 off your first box at www.fabfitfun.com. I promise it's the perfect gift. Wait, so remember we talked about wanting to be vegetarians?
Yes.
So on the way here, you know how you can choose your meal like on an airplane?
Actually, I have a whole story about this, but yes.
Same.
Okay.
So Kristen texted me and was like, what do you want as your meal? And she like gave me the options and I was like, oh, I'm for sure getting the vegetarian chili.
You have to do that like 42 hours or 72 hours in advance?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, I want the vegetarian chili. Mind you, it's a fucking airplane, so the food's probably not going to be good.
And it's probably not even vegetarian.
Right. But I was like, just pick it anyway. And I was actually really pumped to try it because I was like, well, if it's really bad, then any good vegetarian chili was probably going to be like so good.
Right.
Well, I fell asleep on the plane and they never gave it to me. So I was pissed. So anyway, that's my vegetarian / airplane story.
Okay. So when I was on the way back from the reunion, we had a really rude flight attendant and this guy was sleeping and then he was like in the row in front of me. And then they got to my row and started serving the drinks. And the guy, like, I guess came out of his slumber and he was like,
slumber.
Like, I wish you guys could have seen that facial expression. And he was like, I didn't get my drink. And the flight attendant was like, well, we don't wake up people on the airport or on the airplane to serve you drinks. So I was like, oh, okay. Like that kind of makes sense. Maybe they're just like being nice. Like these people are sleeping.
Right.
So then it came to somebody else and it got time to like pick food. And they said that you had to do the vegetarian, all options are available except the vegetarian option has to be, I forget, it was like 48 or 72 hours in advance or something like that.
The vegetarian option?
To get the vegetarian thing. Yeah. So,
no, this was like a regular option. Like
it wasn't on my plane, or maybe they were just like being rude about it. But I came up with a genius idea.
What is it?
So the like, what do they call it? Like charcuterie, or like the cheese
Tofu?
platters? No, like the cheese platters, like charcuterie boards, charcuterie, whatever. What? What's it called?
I literally have no idea what
it's
you're
like
saying.
where they have like fancy cheese and like a million olives and then like grapes and like crackers on there.
A cheese board?
Yeah, like a cheese board. Okay, whatever, Kail. I was trying to say the fancy thing.
Okay, I don't know what it's called.
The ones that they serve on the plane look like Lunchables.
Okay.
So my idea is to perfect that.
And go on Shark Tank.
To go on Shark Tank and then just if we get one airline, like we're rich forever. Because people will buy that stuff.
You're giving away your idea on our podcast. And Teen Mom too.
We should take that out, huh?
You have to be smarter with your ideas. You can't tell everyone.
It was a good idea because you know what? I think it will also increase wine sales.
Why would it? Cheese and wine.
Yeah.
Stop.
I'm a genius.
You can't put these on the podcast.
I know.
We got to cut that part out.
It probably won't get cut out. Let's be honest.
Really quickly, just since we're on the topic of like airports and stuff.
Yeah.
I booked myself first class, right? And I look like white trash 99% of the time. So I was like...
So does everybody else. It's fine.
No. These people wear suits. And we've talked about rude people at the airport before. Mm-hmm. So I go to get in line for group 1 to board. And this guy in like a business suit, like full on dressed to the nines, was like pushing me out of the way. And I
do I not look like first class? Get out.
No, I definitely don't. But I'm just standing there and I'm letting him do it because I want to see how this is going to go. Like I would love to see how this is going to play out. Mm-hmm. So he realizes that you're literally shoving me out of the way.
I hope he was in Delta Comfort and not first class.
So he's pushing me out of the way to get onto the plane. And I'm like, okay. And then he finally looks back and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. Are you in line? And I'm like, mm-hmm. And I literally didn't even say yes or no. I just like nodded my head. And we get on the plane and I sit in my first class seat and he's in the back of the plane.
Get out.
Why are you pushing me out of the way?
Get out.
To get to the back of the plane.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Does he not realize he's boarding in zone 12? And no, I love when that happens, actually. That's happened to me a couple of times when I've just been in like a sweatsuit.
And I'm like, I know.
With no makeup on.
I don't look the part, but don't push me out of the way.
But you don't know who I could be. I could literally be like an heiress of Steve Jobs. Like you don't know who I could be.
Right. I'm actually an heiress of Ben Franklin.
I'm so combative that if somebody did that to me, I would be like, excuse me, are you going somewhere that I'm not? Because I think we're going to the same place.
I just don't like confrontation. Like, I really don't.
I feel like you just have to get better about that because if you did get better about that, I feel like your life would be easier. If you just, like, said, you know, like, just get the fuck out of my way. This
then I didn't want to look like white trash and be combative.
This woman was cutting me off through the airport just trying to get to the Krispy Kreme. I kid you not. She cut me off 3 times. Krispy Kreme is not even that good. She cut me off 3 times.
Are you listening to me?
Yes.
It's not that good.
Do you prefer Krispy Kreme donuts or Dunkin' Donuts donuts?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Me too. But you get the cake donut.
No, I don't get the cake donut.
Yes, you do. Liar. You get the sour cream donut.
That is not a cake.
That's like a
donut.
cake. That's like more
no,
cakey.
It's not.
Like. Okay, whatever. Fine. Kail, I know we talk about this a lot, but when was the last meal you cooked?
I made quesadillas the other day.
So if you're anything like me, you're constantly challenged to find a daily balance in your life due to demands of work and the needs to feel constantly productive. A powerful way to take back your time and be present is right in the kitchen. So thanks to Equal Parts, we can do that.
So Equal Parts has made cooking so much more fun. It's a high quality cookware line that's amazing and super easy to use. But do you want to know what my favorite part is?
What? What is it?
They're really easy to clean.
They are very easy to clean, actually. The fact that you can text the real-life chefs to help provide one-on-one expertise and insight into every step of the cooking process is amazing.
That's so good. You literally get everything you need, the tools, methods, and supports, all from Equal Parts. You can even tell them what's already in your fridge, and they'll tell you what to make.
Plus, cooking at home is a great way to save money. Did you know that ordering delivery on average is almost 6 times more expensive than it is to cook at home? Such a bad habit, and we've actually had so much fun with Equal Parts. I know I've talked about on the podcast that I'm trying to chef it up, so I'm like really doing that.
Yes, so get into the rhythm of the kitchen with friendly and inviting cookware, coaching, and guidance from Equal Parts, all with free shipping and free returns.
Visit equalparts.com and get 15% off of any purchase with code COFFEE. That's EQUALPARTS.com with code COFFEE at checkout.
Did you see the post that I did on Coffee Combo's Instagram about mom confessions?
Yes. Are you reading some?
Yes.
Because I started reading them and I was cracking up.
Okay. So I went on the Coffee Combo's Instagram and actually my friend Rachel told me to do this. So I was like, oh, that's a good idea. So I posted something for moms to be able to confess anonymously things that they do.
And now Kail's going to read your name. I'm just kidding.
I thought about it. I'm calling CPS. No, I'm just kidding. So I wanted to read some of these because they were so funny, some of them. One of them said that they tricked their son into going to bed at 7:30 after the time change. That is so fucking genius.
Yeah, the only thing you have to do is switch your kid's clock in their room.
I never would have thought about that. And I also saw a tweet unrelated to this that was like the topic of like letting your kids skip school. Mm-hmm. In 10 years, I've never let my kids skip school. Like it's just like never something that's crossed my mind.
Oh, hookie's a thing in my house.
Really?
Yeah.
So like
it's not a thing for you?
So I'll read these after you explain why.
Okay. Oh, so you want me to tell you why?
Yeah.
It's a thing?
Like what would be a circumstance or like a special occasion or a reason that you would be like, okay, we're playing hooky?
I feel very strongly about this. So okay. I feel like as adults, you have sick days and you have like personal days that you can take from work. Mm-hmm. So as a kid and their mental well-being, sometimes they might just want to check out. And I'm not saying like Jackson probably wants to check out like 12 days out of a 7-day week, but
right.
Like there's
so
some
like
circumstances that I'm like, yeah, like, okay, you just don't feel like going to school. Like I get it, but I'm not going to probably do that when he'll probably be using it like to skip tests and stuff. Right. Like eventually. So, you know, it's just like, I feel like personal days are good for everybody and everybody needs them, including your children.
I just never, my kids also have never asked me to skip a day.
Because they know better. They know that they're getting their ass to school.
I will say that tweet came at a good time because I do have a day next week where Isaac has 2 appointments. He has an eye doctor appointment and an orthodontist appointment. Mm-hmm. So he will not go to school that day, but it's obviously for a reason. And that was just because he was complaining of headaches, which we talked about last time. So I made him that appointment.
Can we talk about that really quick? Because didn't you say that he was faking?
I caught Isaac lying about headaches. I think that they really did start as headaches, like very few and far between. Mm-hmm. But one day after we recorded the podcast about the headaches, Isaac got in the car when I picked him up and he was like, you know, Mom, like all the way in the 3rd row. He's like, you know, Mom, my friend was complaining of headaches and had to get glasses. And I looked back at him and I said, you're having headaches because you want glasses. And he laughed so hard and he's like, no, I don't. And I was like, no, you want
You're
glasses.
You're literally a scammer, Isaac, and I busted you. I also wanted glasses whenever I was little, and my parents took me to the eye doctor and did the whole exam and everything. And the eye doctor picked up on the fact that I was faking. Mm-hmm. And I'm
going to tell the eye doctor.
And put like nothing, and you know, like how they switched that thing?
Yeah.
So it was just blank. There was nothing on there. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, I can see so much better. And my parents started crying and were like, oh my God, she needs glasses. And he was like, calm down.
Like they do it on purpose.
Yeah.
So we're catching him in a lie.
So doctors like know this.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell them like, this is my premonition. Is that the word?
Literally, I'm taking you to a neurologist.
That's what I should have told Isaac. Like, I'm taking you because people that have severe headaches like this all the time and lie probably have something wrong with them.
Yeah, in their brain. And we're going to go and get it tested.
Anyway, that was that. But I wanted to read some of these really quickly.
Read these confessions because I was cracking up when I was reading some of them.
Okay, so the time change one was really funny.
I actually wanted to like reach out to some of these people and be like, I relate.
Yeah. And some of them I was like, no, I'm really calling CPS. Mm-hmm. Okay, this one was really, really gross, but really funny.
Okay, go ahead.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
My 2-year-old got a German Shepherd dog for her birthday. I caught her in the backyard, pants down, squatting and pulling her butt cheeks apart, pooping like the dog does. I was like, oh my God. Someone said, I shit in my kid's lunchbox on the side of the road. Coffee shits.
Who pulls over on the side of the road and shits in their kid's lunchbox?
I mean, it's better than shitting your pants, but also if you're already...
Didn't you almost shit your pants one time? Didn't you?
Yeah.
Weren't you coming from like Olive Garden or something? Where were you?
I think it might have been Olive Garden.
Yourself.
But I made it to the bathroom, okay?
Oh my God. That's the worst. I don't have those problems. I have constipation problems.
Many times I've said the park was closed or McDonald's wasn't open when it was. That's something we've talked about before.
Like, I've done that.
McDonald's is not a thing.
Their workers didn't come, so they couldn't make the chicken nuggets.
Let's see. Someone said they've nursed their infant while pooping multiple times.
Okay, you've probably done that.
Yep. Someone said they give their child Benadryl when they want a good night's sleep.
Okay, no, that's CPS.
I'm calling you. Yeah, for sure.
I know one person that like gives their kids, I'm not going to say their names obviously, but I know one person that literally gives both of their children melatonin gummies, like adult dose, so that they'll sleep.
Why can't you give them the kids dose?
Because it probably isn't enough. Melatonin probably knocks them out if it's adult dose. I'm like, that's literally CPS. Like, what happened if your kid died of overabundance of melatonin?
Is that a thing?
I don't know. I might have just made it up, but it might be a thing. Like, don't over-medicate your kids, people.
Someone said that they say they're going to work out downstairs, but they really go watch TV by themselves.
Oh, that's definitely something I would do.
Like, that's me.
Yeah.
I will eat an entire pack of fruit snacks at once because I can't let my kids see me eating them.
Oh, yeah. So I saw this one thing, speaking of that, on Facebook that was this video of this little boy, this mom telling this little boy that she ate all of his Halloween candy and like his reaction. And I think I'm going to do it to Jackson because I think he would have a panic attack.
What did the kid do on the video?
Was
a meltdown.
Yeah. Was like, you have to be kidding me. So serious and so dramatic.
Oh,
it was so sweet.
Okay.
What else we got?
Someone said they told their kids that you have to be invited to Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, that's a good one.
For a birthday party. So you cannot go to Chuck E. Cheese without an invite. So that's a good one.
That's a really good one.
My friend Rachel, she's the one that gave me this idea. She said she rides her son's scooter in the house, but she'll like yell at her son that he can't ride the scooter in the house. So when he's not home, she does that.
She does that.
I'm like, that's a good one.
That's great.
As you guys may remember, a few weeks ago, we discovered Everlywell, the at-home wellness test that helps you better understand your health. I received my Everlywell at-home lab test and tested myself for food sensitivities a few days ago. I received my results, and they helped me understand my lactose intolerance and some other things that I didn't already know. So Everlywell has really given me a positive outlook on health, and finally I have some answers about things that I can use in my diet.
I know. Everlywell offers more than 30 different at-home lab tests, from fertility to food sensitivity to thyroid and heart health.
Yes, Everlywell tests are physician-reviewed and comes with super easy-to-follow instructions. Your results are personalized and easy to understand, so you know exactly what they mean to you. I'm going to have to change my intake of cheese and other dairy products so that I'm feeling better about myself during the day.
Likewise, because that's something that I definitely struggle with, but cheese is like the best. So it's been really hard. To start better understanding your health like we did, check out Everlywell today. For 15% off an Everlywell at-home lab test, visit everlywell.com/coffee and enter code coffee at checkout. That's EVERLYWELL.com/coffee. Code coffee for 15% off your test. Everlywell at-home lab test, your answers your way. Okay, I have a topic that I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
And it kind of goes back to like the skipping school thing.
Okay.
But it's about life commitments. So we just dealt with this.
I can't commit to anything in my life. That's where I'm at today.
Well, but I feel like you're better with your kids than you are with yourself.
Okay.
So it has never happened before, but Jackson had a soccer game on a Saturday, but also a birthday party at the same time. Mm-hmm. And it was one of his good friends. Mm-hmm. And so I was on the side of, it's one of his good friends and he should be there to like support his friend's birthday, right? And Will was like, no, he has a soccer game and he's committed to a team. So like, what do you do?
That is something that I've struggled with all three. And then I have kids that have games at the same time.
So what do you do?
Who's going to be late to their game?
So you play favorites?
No. It's just like, it's hard. It's tough. But the birthday party and the game thing, it's like they're young enough to My biggest thing is commitment. So, like, when Joe doesn't want to take Isaac to his stuff, which he doesn't, that's a big deal to me. But I feel like if you're committed all season long, you can miss one thing for a birthday party. Now, if you've already missed 3 because you've done 12 other things, sorry, you're going to the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you're committed pretty much all season, I feel like one time is not...
Gonna, like...
Make or break it,
right?
But in high school or college, obviously it's going to be a lot different. You're not going to be able to miss those things.
Well, Will went to games hungover all the time, so obviously he was doing both things. You know? So it's like, why are you having a different expectation for...
Well, it's like just like starting the kids off with a good foundation of commitment.
Right.
So and like over time they'll be able to judge for themselves like what their priorities are and like
but like what's more important in life. That's the question. Is what's more important in life your relationships with people and
or your
like,
commitment to something,
or your commitment to soccer at 6 years old, and you're not going to be playing this when you're an adult, but you will be using
your relationships with
people as an adult.
That's a really
and like being committed to your friendships and being committed to like your family and being committed to those things over sports. But Will looks at it as you're committed to a team and they depend on you. And I get that.
I get that too. I get both sides. I definitely do. I think that but it's one of those things, like I said, if you already missed 3 practices and 2 games.
So he went to the birthday party.
Okay, that's fair.
And he was so happy. But he'll go back to soccer next week and it'll be fine.
Right.
Like
that's the other thing. So that's something that I'm working on with Joe right now. Mm-hmm. I believe that Isaac should be making a lot of decisions on, like, we should be listening to Isaac at this point because he's 10. Joe doesn't agree. Like, at what point can the child decide, I want to go to the game versus the birthday party? Or I want to go to the birthday party versus the game? Joe believes for Isaac that we still make the decisions. I feel like Isaac is old enough to be making some big decisions.
But I feel like it's also, I don't know how Joe was raised, but like I never got to make decisions. So then whenever I was allowed to make decisions, then I was like going crazy. That's what it was. Know? Like I was going like crazy. Like, okay, I can go and drink, or I can go and do this, or I can go and do that. If you don't teach your kids, like allow them to make decisions that might ultimately be a mistake of a decision, how do they learn?
Well, so we talked about it in therapy. Like Joe, me, and Isaac went. And the therapist said that I let him make too big of decisions. So...
got to have a balance.
The decision for Isaac, the option to make a decision himself should be like, are you wearing the blue shirt or the red shirt? Uh-huh. Not, are you staying at dad's for a day longer or mom's a day longer?
So you would let him make the second decision?
I feel like, yeah, because Isaac was really upset last week because Joe's dad was in town. Mm-hmm. And Isaac was crying because he's like, I really wanted to visit with my grandpa. So I called Joe and I'm like, why is my son crying because he wants to be with your dad? Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, Isaac doesn't get to make those decisions. He needs to be on his schedule. And I didn't agree. I felt like if Isaac wanted to visit with Joe's dad, who he does not see very often, he should have been able to stay.
Or maybe if it's important to Isaac and the schedule is also important to Joe, then maybe it should be better planned that his dad is there when it's Joe's week.
And only Joe's week. Because then Isaac felt like he
feels left out. Mm-hmm. Like his sister's getting to spend time and then he's not.
Yeah. But to me, I just feel like if your dad's staying till Monday, call me, say that, and then I will let Isaac stay until Monday.
But I feel like you're a lot more reasonable than who you parent with, you know? So like you're more flexible with stuff because you live like a flex life. Like if it's going to make your kids happy and whatever, then you're going to do that thing or try to do that thing.
But the therapist didn't agree. The therapist said that that's too big of a decision to make.
So the therapist agreed with Joe?
Yes. That it's going to set me up for failure in the long run. But I just don't agree when it comes to parenting and family. I don't agree. Now, if he said, I want to stay and doesn't have a reason, okay, maybe not. But there was a special circumstance.
Right, yeah.
It's not like he's like, Mom, I don't want to come with you. I want to stay with my dad. It's like, well, unfortunately, this is the schedule. This is what we're sticking to. This is what we're doing.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
So, like, if he didn't have a valid excuse, you would have definitely been like, no, you're not going.
I mean, no. But to the therapist's point. I could see.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess.
That's so hard.
I want to talk to Leah about it when we have her on the podcast next because
I can't relate to some of that stuff, you know? Like,
well, no, but also Leah does that. Her and Corey work big time together on the girls. Like, if the girls want to stay, they let them.
Well, and then how... So they work off of that schedule, like
they
the
have
flex
50-50. They switch on and off every other week. But if the girls want to stay with one of them, they let them. Or if there's something going on, they let them.
Right, okay.
So that's where I was like, well, Isaac and the twins are only a month apart. So...
Right.
And I know that every kid's different, but it's something that obviously it's been a struggle. And now it sucks because he's not on Teen Mom, so we can't film his
Isaac
side
isn't?
of it. No, Joe. So, like, they can't film his side of it so that at least I could look back and be like, oh, that was his reasoning.
Right.
Because Joe and I are not in a good place right now.
But where did that start? Like, because y'all were, and then you... Like,
and he apologized last month, and then I got the text the other day.
Like, where does it go from, like, hot to cold? Like,
I'm like,
so fast?
Is this Javi 2.0, or...
How is that going with Javi, by the way?
It's great. We haven't fought in a long time. Like, months.
Really? Mm-hmm. And how does that... Like,
it's been good.
Feel good. Like, feels good, right?
Like, yeah.
I know. Mm-hmm. I know it feels good. So I wanted to talk about, hold on one second. Mm-hmm. I was texting with Kristen the other day, and we talked about Kristen before on the podcast, but that's Kail's assistant.
And best friend.
And, and best friend. But we were talking about Pinterest and, like, being victimized by Pinterest and it making you feel like a bad mom. And remember how you were like, I'm not a Pinterest mom? Right. And I feel like I'm, like, borderline. So I feel like I'm, like, more Pinterest, but I'm not, like, fully Pinterest. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. I go on there and I get ideas to do stuff, but, like, my shit does not ever turn out to look like that. Right? Right. And then that caused Kristen and I to start having a conversation about never making mac and cheese off of Pinterest because...
I tried to, and it came out terrible.
Okay, well, there was a burn victim when I tried to make the macaroni and cheese.
Was it you?
No, it was the macaroni and cheese because it was literally crisp, so bad. So... Then I was thinking about, like, all the moms that post stuff, like, on social media of, like, these Pinterest projects and, like, their house, like, looking so good doing this Pinterest stuff. And my stuff would never look like that.
We've talked about this.
I just recently started taking personal offense to this. Right. And I think it's because I've just recently started, like, trying to put my house together. Yes. And, like, trying to do all the things. Yes. That's hard.
We've talked about this. I can't do the DIY projects at home. Like, that's not a thing for me.
I can't DIY anything.
I could get a project off of Pinterest and give it to a contractor to do.
Okay, this is what made me think of it, though. So Jackson had to do this project. I don't know if Lincoln had to do this or not, but it's like to disguise a turkey.
Yeah, we did a scientist.
You did? Yeah. But did it turn out cute? Can I see a picture of it? Yeah. You're going to post the picture on the Instagram. And then I'll post the picture of Jackson's on Instagram. Also, while we're on that topic, I let Jackson go to a play date at Chick-fil-A the night that we had to do the disguise a turkey. So I was thinking, like, Will's going to get everything together to disguise the turkey. No, we get home and Will has out a Sharpie in black, a red marker or crayon, and a blue one. And he wanted it to look like Spider-Man, but it looked horrible. Oh, see, that's pretty cute. A scientist.
That's what he wanted.
I love it. And you use, like, felt and, like, made it. Okay, this is, like, more Pinterest than mine look. Do you want me to show you?
Yeah. Why did you say it like that? Do you want me to show you?
Because, okay, first of all, Will has very little, like, responsibilities when it comes to Jackson. I normally, like, take care of all that stuff because I'm at home every day. You know, like, I pick him up, I clean out the backpack and everything. Yeah. And the one thing that Will had to do was the disguise the turkey. And... It didn't turn out very well, to be perfectly honest, and I wasn't impressed by it, and he also didn't cut it out, which made me very upset, because I went downstairs to get a midnight snack, and then I went in Jackson's folder, and I saw I saw the turkey that had, like, crayon marks, like, all on the outside. I don't think I have a picture of it on here, so I'm going to have Will send a picture, but I will post it on the Instagram. It was just Spider-Man, and it was just, like, very basic. Like, Will tried to draw webs on there with a Sharpie, and it just, like, didn't come out.
Let me see.
I don't have a picture of it. I'm going to have Will send me the picture of it. But you're not going to be impressed. And it doesn't look like the scientist. Like, you did way better. I'm impressed with you.
I didn't do that.
Who did that?
Lincoln did that. You can't tell by the scribble?
Well, who did the scientist's costume?
Well, it's
like, Lincoln didn't do all that by himself.
A square.
You did that.
I did not.
So basically, I'm tired of being victimized by Pinterest. I want to know who else is also victimized by Pinterest and feels bad about themselves, because I feel like Pinterest just makes you feel like a bad mom, you know?
So does Instagram.
Oh, definitely. But I feel like my Instagram page would make somebody feel like a bad mom, maybe.
Your Instagram makes me feel like a bad mom. A bad person.
A bad person? What?
Yeah.
Why?
I could never get my life together enough to do photo shoots. Like, I can't get it together.
Well, you also have 3 children and I have 1. Mm-hmm. So have grace for yourself. I think there's something that all of us can agree on. Nurses, doctors, dentists, and people who work in medicine and healthcare are pretty amazing. And all of us can think of a time when a medical professional helped us or a family member.
100%. And that's why they must be wearing the best scrubs out there from Figs. Figs is an amazing company that is making scrubs stylish and functional for people who deserve it most.
For years, nurses, doctors, and dentists and other awesome medical professionals were forced to wear scratchy, ill-fitting scrubs. And now with Figs, they can not only wear cute and comfy scrubs, but they are wearing scrubs that are designed with innovative and technical properties to protect and hold life-saving tools.
Yes, and my favorite part about Figs is that they give back. Every time you shop at Figs, they give scrubs to healthcare providers in need around the world through their Threads to Threads initiative. To date, they've donated hundreds of sets in over 35 countries.
So whether you're one of the awesome humans that work in healthcare or someone that wants to thank these deserving folks, Figs is going to make that easy by providing you with a 15% off your first purchase by using our special code COFFEE. Get ready and love your scrubs. Head to wearfigs.com and enter our code COFFEE at checkout. That's WEARFIGS.com with code COFFEE at checkout for 15% off. Gift cards are also available for this holiday season.
I wanted to talk about something that I saw on Twitter this week.
Oh, God.
Did you see?
I'm nervous.
This is completely unrelated to everything that we've talked about.
Okay.
T.I., the rapper, did an interview talking about how he takes his daughter to the gynecologist once a year to have her hymen checked to make sure she's still a virgin. And he posted it all over the internet.
Why would that be something? Let's just take the fact out that he does that, period, right? Mm-hmm. Why would that be something that you would post all over the internet? Like, are you bragging?
I guess he did the interview, which then media got a hold of, and then it was all over the internet.
But why would you do an interview about that? Because you should not be having an interview about your daughter's sex
virginity.
Life, lack thereof.
And I think she's 16. And he talked about how the doctor will come out and, like, he has to sign the waiver to share information. So he asks his daughter, do you have anything to tell me? And basically makes her feel like she has to tell him, does the hymen check and make sure it's still intact.
Yeah. Well,
how do you feel about it?
I feel like in a lot of senses I can relate because my parents were very overbearing about us having sex. Like, literally, my dad brought us into the room and showed us, like, Centers of Disease Control. Like,
yeah, but that's, like, a good thing.
In that regard, yes, to show you, like, what could happen to you, like, if you're out here just nilly-willy doing whatever. But also, I was afraid to have sex because I was afraid that it would, like, disappoint my parents to another level, that they would never be able to forgive me. Like, it was something that you should... if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're old enough and, like, understand the risk of having sex, I feel like you should be able to make those decisions in an educated way and not fearful. Right.
I went on a little bit of a Twitter rant about it.
I saw.
I'm just, like, disgusted because I feel like if she... First of all, how does she feel about that actually happening? Because she probably feels intimidated and pressured to do that because that's her dad and she's underage.
And he supports her in every way.
Right.
Like,
but secondly, how does she then feel about him saying it in an interview?
And your hymen can be broken, like, from
so many other ways.
things.
And it also can actually reheal, which is what my gynecologist told me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So
thanks for the facts.
That's what my doctor
appreciate
told me.
It.
So... someone did tell me that she, I guess, unfollowed her dad on Instagram or Twitter.
She was probably mortified.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being a 16-year-old girl with your dad out here talking about stuff like that?
Why is my father talking about my virginity anywhere?
And it might be something that she's even proud of, to like be a virgin and saving herself, because
right, but she doesn't need her dad doing that in interviews, and I'm like so disgusted, and I hope that he realizes what he just did.
Sometimes, and I can relate to this, sometimes like when you do things, hindsight's always 20/20, right? So like he probably thinks of it now,
but the damage is done.
The damage is done.
Like, imagine like going to the gynecologist with your dad for years and him making you like, that's so disturbing to me and humiliating. And also it's like none of his business. Like,
it is none of his business. I feel like if she is safe and there's nothing like medically going on with her, then that should be something that she should be able to have a conversation with her medical provider. And
or why isn't her mom going instead of her dad?
I don't know. That's very strange. I'm going to do some investigating on this and then follow up.
I wonder, do any of our listeners do they know anyone that also did this?
Yeah, share with us, please. Send us an email. Again, don't send us DMs anymore, because I feel like they're getting so lost.
I'm like overwhelmed with DMs. Email is probably best if you want to email, because they get sorted through. Mm-hmm. But DMs, like, we can't get through all of them.
And make sure that you're putting like a subject on it, because if it's something that
is like, hey, how are you girls? It gets lost and everything because it doesn't put the topic.
Right.
So it doesn't.
So make sure you're putting subjects on these, and yeah, just do email now, not DMs. I know that we used to say like, DM us, like let us know, but it's literally so overwhelming, and we keep scrolling. And I don't know if you do this, but like I'll scroll on there to like read stuff, and then it like refreshes because there's so many that are in there. So then it just keeps going.
Yep. Yeah.
Completely unrelated. Can we talk about me texting you the other night telling you that Will thought that you're supposed to swallow Listerine? And you said that I need to leave immediately because he's going to
call poison control.
He's going to, like, if something happens to him, people are going to think that I killed him and I'm going to be on ID channel.
That's what I said.
I know. So let's talk about it. Because
there's alcohol in it, and there's probably other things. It literally
he's been doing this for years
on the back of the bottle that if it's swallowed to call poison control. So
I only caught it the other day. He's setting me up for like a murder that I didn't do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I looked on the back of the bottle because I saw him do it. Like, this was like the first time I saw him do it. Like, I know he uses mouthwash all the time, but I don't know. I was just like watching him, like we were having a conversation, and then I saw him swallow it, and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, putting in Listerine. And I'm like,
putting it in where?
Putting it in where? Exactly. Like, you're swallowing it. Like, that's something you're supposed to like gargle with, right? And then you're supposed to spit it out. And he's like, no, like you swallow it. And I'm like, okay, well, approximately how long have you been doing this? Because he also has like a bottle of Listerine in his truck, like in his like little
approximately
console.
How long have you been
And he's
doing
like, I
this?
do this like every day. Like, I brush my teeth with like Listerine with like a toothbrush in my truck before I go back into work after I've had my lunch. And like, I swallow it. So I'm like, approximately how long? Like 2. He's like, oh, it's probably been going on for like 2 years. I've been doing this. So literally, is that what's wrong with him?
First of all, why did he do this new habit?
It's not new. It's not brand new. I just discovered it.
But 2 years, I mean, that's a long time, but that's like also new. That's a newly formed habit. Why did you decide at 30 years old you wanted to start swallowing Listerine?
So I'm going to just take a wild guess here and say that he didn't want to brush his teeth in the bathroom at work. So he came up with an alternative, which would be Listerine.
Okay, but swallowing it is not.
Using a toothbrush with his Listerine and then swallowing it. And I'm like, you do realize you're swallowing like all the funk that like you
brushed or rinsed
like
out.
Whatever you were doing, right? And then you're dying inside, slow death, and that's probably what's wrong with you. I have now figured out what's wrong with Will, among other things. But
he needs an intervention.
He does.
We need to bring him back on Coffee Combos podcast.
Actually, he said that he wanted to come on the podcast.
I'm down. I want to do an in-person one so we can get photos.
But like, what are we going to talk to him about?
I'm going to talk to him about. There's a lot of things.
Kail, I seriously cannot believe it's already time to start shopping for the holidays. Time has seriously flown by so fast this year.
I know, but thankfully we have Honey, and that's a free browser extension that automatically finds the best promo codes wherever you shop online. It's going to be such a lifesaver this holiday season.
I think it will be. You can get the best deals without even trying on over 20,000 sites such as Amazon, eBay, Sephora, Target, Best Buy, Expedia, and more.
Right? I got a gift card on Amazon, and I got $15 back for Amazon credit. So Honey had a coupon that gave me the $15 from buying the $50 gift card for a friend. So it's literally amazing.
That's incredible. Honey has saved over 10 million members, over $1 billion in savings. I also recently checked out their reviews on Google Chrome Store, and they have over 100,000 5-star reviews.
If you're buying gifts this holiday season, then you need Honey. If you're not, you probably know someone who is, and so do them a solid and tell them about Honey.
Honey can help make sure that you're getting the best price for whatever you're buying. It's free to use and installs in just 2 clicks.
Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/coffee.
That's JOINHONEY.com/coffee to start saving today. Can we talk about my driver on the way to the airport?
Oh, good God.
I literally was fearful for my life. I was about to send goodbye text. Have you ever been in that situation where you feel like you've got to send a goodbye?
Yes. And
right?
you're like, this isn't going to end well.
Right. Okay, that was one of the situations that I was in.
No.
This driver picks me up, and I already knew he was squirrely because
Squirrely?
Because I had my stuff in the garage, and he was honking the horn to the car, and I think he was trying to notify that he was there, but it's bro, I already got the text. I know you're here. I'm about to come out. I'm finishing my sweet tea. Calm down. And I go outside, and he's hitting the horn, and he's hey, I'm here. And I'm
I know. I'm aware.
I get it. You're here. So he goes to put my suitcase in and everything, and we get going down the road. I see this man, no lie. You know, the weather app on your iPhone? How you can have multiple different places and look at the weather?
Right.
Why was he looking at weather in places that he's not at? It would not be relevant, right?
Maybe he was
especially while he's driving me. What business?
This was while he was driving?
He was driving me, and he was looking at weather in 6 different locations on his phone. And I'm the weather in New York City or Afghanistan or wherever you're looking at is irrelevant, because what's important right now is the fact that I don't want to die. What was he doing?
He was looking at the weather. Maybe he was planning a trip while he was driving.
Then he was asking me how to get places. And I'm
do you have a GPS? You have the weather in another country, so you should probably
right. So then there's this old-timey car. You know, people who are car collectors? So there was they have old-timey ones, you know? Yeah. So it's driving down the freeway, and it's going the speed of smell. Probably because it's so old that it can't go faster. But he's...
The speed of smell.
He's literally behind these people about to clip their bumper. And the woman is videoing him, driving down the road. And he's speeding, going 90 miles an hour, weaving in and out of these people.
This is your driver?
This is the driver. And then he's double fisting a water this big and a coffee. And at that point, I knew I was dead.
Did you have a photo? You have a photo of him?
Yes, I have a photo of him. You want to see it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Because when you see this water, he could kill somebody with this water. It's that big. Are you ready? Hold on one moment, please.
What was his name?
We don't know. What was he doing with that large of a water?
He's married.
I don't care if he was looking...
Why is his wedding ring on his right hand?
You know what I heard? That people wear wedding rings to make themselves
more attractive to people?
Yeah. Have you heard of this?
That's terrible. Because when you want what you can't have.
Realtors do that.
Honestly, my realtor was definitely married, unfortunately.
So, you wanted to marry him?
No, I didn't want to marry him. But a lot of people wrote into my Instagram and was asking about Marcus.
Oh, yeah. So, by the way, can we do a Teen Mom update?
Teen Mom update. Got to get the cameras ready for that one. Okay. Teen Mom update.
What we got?
Okay. What have we talked about so far? Did we ever cover the David and Janelle stuff?
No.
Because I was reading online that she fled to Tennessee.
I saw that too. And I also saw that she was with Nathan.
What?
Am I more in the know about Teen Mom than you are?
Do you think they're going to get back together? Or do you think that he's helping her with the situation?
I don't know, but they're in Tennessee and neither of them are from
Tennessee. I did invite
Tennessee.
her on the podcast.
Wait.
And she declined.
Do you have her number?
No, I did not. I do not have her number. Kristen reached out to her management, who is also Jeremy's management. Mm-hmm. And basically was I'm willing to squash the beef and just give you basically a voice, what's going on if you wanted to talk about it. And they declined.
Okay.
So I was okay.
Cool. Are we so scared?
What else? Was there anything else?
Was there anything else that was said?
She's willing to talk to you privately.
Yeah, so her manager...
I think that's a good step, actually.
...said that she would be willing to talk to me privately. I just... Other than, like, clearing up... My purpose, I guess, was, like, it's water under the bridge at this point, right? Like, I don't care about the shit that's happened and whatever. But I also wanted to give her a platform to openly and honestly clear up any rumors, because I am afraid of David, and I'm afraid of David for her. Mm-hmm. So, like, I wanted to give her that opportunity. It wasn't ever like we wouldn't make money off of her being on the podcast. You know?
Like, we're gonna keep podcasting and have whatever episode anyway. Like, it doesn't.
So I was trying to help out in that way, but I guess that's what her manager is for. I guess her manager can help her do that as well.
But so why don't you?
I just don't know how I can offer support privately, which I will. Mm-hmm. I just don't know how to. If I don't have her phone number, how would I?
But I think maybe, like, to organically just let her know, like, hey, I'm thinking of you. Like, I know what you're going through.
Right.
Not to, like, completely the same extent, but kind of the same extent.
Right.
Like, so you can relate to her on a different level, and maybe you guys should do that privately. And then when it is comfortable for her, maybe she's fearful right now and she doesn't want to do anything publicly.
Right.
So I think that should be respected.
Right.
You know, and if she wants to at any point come on, then she knows that it's an opportunity, and she can say her piece. She can cuss us out. She can do whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll sit here and be a listening ear. Because I think the other day, I was doing this ask questions thing because people knew that we had talked about the reunion on a couple of episodes ago. Mm-hmm. And about Janelle being there and, like, everything, like, up in the air about what's going on and if she returning to Teen Mom and whatever. And we didn't really go into details because we didn't know any information, you know?
Like, I think they're going to definitely bring her back to some capacity.
And I think that...
I don't think that they...
I think that she's just like any other normal human. Like, she's had mistakes. Like, if she comes back, then she comes back.
It does make me nervous. And I wonder how the other girls would feel about it. Like, I wonder.
But at the end of the day, you guys only see each other at reunions, and we've talked about that before.
Right.
So it's like, whatever.
Right.
But people had asked, and they were like, well, you and Kail, like, invited her on the podcast. Like, is she going to come on? Is she not going to come on?
Well, she's not coming on, but I'm willing to...
But then I think people are just, like, they don't understand, like, the behind the scenes stuff. And I think that just because, like, publicly stuff has been said, people also have to understand, like, I don't have anything against Janelle. However, I do have something against David because he publicly went on Instagram and started this whole thing about calling my dad gay. And that I took personal offense to, and that's not fine. And it's 2019, so wake up.
Right. Did I talk about the David squirrel thing?
No.
David posted a picture with his daughter hunting for squirrels, and then posted the picture of the dead squirrels, and then the third slide was the picture of the squirrel on their plate fried and feeding it to Ensley.
I try to dodge them when I'm in the car and almost hit them. Like, nobody does that in real life. Like, kills a squirrel.
Full on feeding your daughter a squirrel that y'all shot.
Wait, this was Ensley?
Yeah.
Or Marissa?
No.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's dangerous. Don't those things, like, carry, like, rabies and stuff?
Like, I don't know. I'm not feeding my child.
Like, I don't know. Can you get it from eating it? I don't know.
Like a wild squirrel.
That's disgusting. Well, Janelle, if you're listening, we're here to lend a helping hand if you want it.
Yes. So I'll set up that private conversation.
Yeah, I think that
But I probably will update you guys on whether I had it or not, but I won't go into detail about what we talk about.
Yes.
Because I don't want to put
all out
there.
If it's a private conversation, it's a private conversation, and I think people should just respect that. The last thing that I think that, there's a couple things that we need to do, but we need to talk about how we got involved with the charity that we're supporting.
Right. So we're doing blessings in a backpack. Mm-hmm. And Lindsie came up with a cute little name, Coffee Combos Cares. So you guys can go on coffeecombospodcast.com, and there will be a tab on the website where you're able to give back to Coffee Combos Cares, and it goes directly to
the organization. We never see the money. It's not in either of our accounts, anything like that. This is just who we decided to partner with. we talked about on the podcast a couple of episodes ago about seeing a child that was in Tennessee that was going hungry. And I think it really just touched both of us. And so this is what we have decided to do. And I think that you're going to be able to go to a location that
near me.
They actually have one in Delaware.
Perfect.
So that's perfect because you wanted your kids to see, right?
Yeah, I want my kids to help out this holiday season. I'm not doing gifts or anything for my kids. So
what are you doing?
We're not.
You're just not exchanging gifts?
Nope. I want them to do giving back. I want to maybe plan a trip to Guatemala. Lincoln had asked to go back. So I want to be able to give back in that community and then do something that's local.
That's amazing. So Blessings in a Backpack actually sent me over some statistics. And one of them was like literally blew me away. More than 12 million children in the United States live in food insecure homes, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. 12 million.
They live in what?
And food insecure homes. So like homes that either don't have food or like not enough food. Is that not horrible?
Yeah.
So we're going to post the link on the website for you guys to be able to go, and you just can directly go to the website. You'll be able to swipe up and give there. And I think that it's kind of set up to where you can do, like if you want to give for a weekend, like to feed a kid over a weekend, or if you want to do it for a month, I think to supply a kid for a year, it costs $130 to supply a kid for a year. So I know that we're going to do a couple of children like through the podcast, and then personally I'm going to do it, and I know that you'll do it too.
Oh yeah.
And you can give as little as $4, and I think that supports a kid for a weekend or a week. So that's literally a Starbucks.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to be supporting some kids over the weekend.
Supporting them. I love
honestly, I told you my friend Rachel works at a school, and they'll save the leftovers at school that are packaged, not like obviously from a tray.
Right.
And they know, the kids themselves know, and the teachers know who's not eating, and they'll send the food home with them so that they eat over the weekend. I mean, it was just Veterans Day, so it was a long weekend, and we don't know what kids weren't eating. You know what I mean?
I know. It's so sad to know that children go home
without.
And that their meal is coming from school.
Right.
Like I know that some schools do free funding for like the summertime to where kids can come and get like a lunch or breakfast or something like that. But this was just something that we could like be involved in hands-on, because we had talked about how we want our kids to know like there are children that are in need and they're so blessed. And Jackson watched a little video of Blessings in a Backpack. And I mean, it was crazy how much resonated with him. It just so being little. 6 years old.
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, Mom, like I shouldn't waste my food.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you should eat because you have plenty of food and you always complain. Can I talk about talking to a mom in Chipotle and how it was like one of the most profound conversations that I had in a really long time? I was just eating a burrito bowl and she was just sitting there and talking about her struggles with breastfeeding and like bringing her kid into the world, and how she had stepchildren and like how it was a blended family. And it was literally like such a eye-opening conversation. And
did you know her?
No, I didn't know her from Adam. I literally just sat down and started eating my burrito.
Is that a saying? Or
yeah, I think so.
Well, that's kind of nice. It's like nice that you like.
Yeah, I just started talking to her, and she was like, "It's been such a pleasure to talk to you." And I'm like, "I'm glad that you feel like that, because my husband doesn't feel that way."
Neither do I sometimes.
I know.
Just kidding.
Kail hates me sometimes. And the last thing that I want to talk about is forging names, and if you ever did this, like when you were in school.
I never did, because my mom's signature was so specific that I could never.
Do you want me to show you what my child did?
Your child tried to forge your name?
No, he tried to forge Will's, and he's in kindergarten.
That's amazing. Isaac was trying to pick a lock in the bathroom the other day. Nobody was in it.
I'm not ever going to tell Jackson this, but I was impressed.
Bent back a bobby pin and tried to pick a lock, and I was concerned. Like, that kind of pissed me off. Like, what are you doing?
Like, did it immediately make you think that he was going to be
sneaky?
That he was going to be like a breaking and entering person?
No, it didn't. But I was like, because I caught him watching YouTube at like 5 a.m. So I got pissed off, and I was like, take the cord out of the TV and give me the cord. Because he doesn't have cable in his room, but he has a PlayStation.
Right.
So I made him to unplug the TV, give me the cords, and then I left. And I thought that he was trying to pick the locks to be able to get the cord while I was gone.
So what was he doing? Just trying to see
I think he just said that he wanted to see if he could do it. So I'm concerned.
Yeah, because he plans on breaking in somewhere else.
I text Joe, and Joe goes, well, did he succeed? I'm like, you're 9. You shouldn't be trying to pick locks.
But did he? Did he get in?
No.
Okay, so the bobby pin didn't work. Look at the signature right here. I'm going to post this as well, you guys. You see that little, like, it literally looks exactly like Will's signature. So you're supposed to sign, like,
I gotta pee.
The behavior chart.
That's not his signature.
That is Will's initials. Like, you have to initial the behavior chart every single day, like whatever your kid comes home with. And the funny thing is it wasn't even a bad report, but Jackson thought that somebody was going to forget to do it. So he went ahead and took it upon himself
to make sure it was signed.
But he didn't forge my name. He forged Will's name. Signature, which Will never does it. So I guess mine was too hard to forge. But the funny thing is Will's mom is a school teacher, or was a school teacher. And when he was in kindergarten, one of my favorite memories of Will that she has is a little paper a bad behavior paper. And the parent had to sign it, and he signed her first name and, like, not the last name. So it just, like, was Carol, like, in all, like, big letters, like a kindergartner. And then it made me think of Jackson. I'm like father, like son. So you never forged?
No, I couldn't. My mom's, like, S and L for Lowry was so...
like, ornate?
I could never. So
but did you get good grades? I failed everything.
I was very average. Like, I was the average student.
How does that happen? Like, you come from, like...
I didn't apply myself, so I was very average without studying. Had I studied, I probably would have done really, really well.
But you talk about, like, your upbringing and how, like, you were just, like, going from place to place and, like, how your mom, like, was a little nuts.
What is it called? Natural aptitude? Natural aptitude
so
is like when you're, like, born that way. Like, when you're born really smart. I don't think I was born really smart. I was born very average, like, average-minded.
But then I had parents that were, like, overbearing and involved, and I failed, and I, like, went to summer school every year.
I think that's why, like, parenting is, like, truly hit or miss. Like, you get really lucky if all your kids turn out, like, phenomenal, you know? Like, really good, well-to-do people.
But, like, what was I doing? I was, like, in private school.
Around.
Like,
I don't know.
I don't know what I was doing.
I went to public school.
So that's why I'm saying, like, got knocked up, Kail.
I did. A couple of times.
I don't get it. I don't get how somebody, like, I had all of the resources. You know what I mean? Like, to be, like,
excel.
Like, to excel.
Right.
And, like I didn't.
Right. Like, Harvard.
But then, I mean, we're not talking Harvard. That's extreme, Kail. But, like... I could have done way better than
Same, but so could have I.
I mean, I failed history like 19 times, and I still can't get around the map. Like, I still, like, geography is not my strong suit.
Right.
And I was always in summer school, so I swear
you went
that,
to
like...
summer school?
Yes, like, I was a summer school kid.
No, you weren't. That's a lie. You're lying.
I swear to, like, everything.
How many times? To God.
I went to summer school 2 years in a row in high school. I graduated with a cumulative GPA of a 2.0 from high school. But then from college, when my parents, like, weren't even involved with me, I had a 3.95 cumulative GPA. How?
Maybe that's what you needed, though. Maybe you needed
I was making my own choices.
Right.
Like, when they were making my choices. And you knew that
it fell on you, so you had to do the best you could do. Mm-hmm. But when they were making choices for you, you felt the need to go against what they were saying.
I knew my parents were going to pay for private school, whether I flunked or if I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I just did whatever. But then
so who could we get on the podcast to talk about that? Like, grades and, like, parenting and...
I don't know.
How your environment affects how well you do in school.
It would be like
actually
psychiatrist or like
the
a
next podcast that we do, just the two of us. I want to talk about, like, road schooling and homeschooling.
Road schooling,
yeah,
like where you, like, travel on the road.
Yes.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Because, I mean, think about it, right? Like, your kids go to school from, like, 8 to 3. It's really set up just to be a babysitter for your parents to work a 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. And then they're not really learning anything other than to pass the state tests.
Yeah.
And, I mean, yeah, maybe elementary school for, like, the fundamentals. But, like, after that...
You know what I was so thankful for since I was a private school kid? I didn't have to take the graduation test, like the state graduation test, because... they're different. Like,
I didn't take a graduation test.
You didn't? Like, in Georgia, you have to take a high school graduation test to be able to graduate, and you have to pass it. And I thought the whole time when I was, like, going through high school that I was going to have to take this test, and I knew I was going to flunk, and, like, I was going to be in high school forever. Like, that was my biggest fear. That I was going to be in high school at like 27.
Like a final exam?
No, not like a final. It's like state mandated.
No.
Like, you have to take it by the state.
Did you take one of those? I've never taken a graduation test. I did a graduation project. Yeah,
no, you had to take a graduation test. Now, that was one of my biggest fears. But yeah, we can talk about this whole topic on another episode. So I think that's all we have time for. Kail's copying me. So if you guys have not subscribed to us, you can do that by searching the Purple Podcast app on your iPhone, type in Coffee Combos, click subscribe, and click the 5th star and leave us a written review. We hope you guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.